अन्ते सन्तन्न जहात्यन्ते सन्तन्न पश्यति देवस्य पश्य काव्यम् न मारणजीर्यति
The Yajurveda says one should desire to live for 100 years in this world, only being engaged in actions or deeds. There is no way to pass out from here. The Bhagavad Gita says, all men are forced to act helplessly according to the impulse born of the modes of material nature. Therefore, no one can refrain from doing something, not even for a moment. One cannot live even for a moment without doing any work. But how can one engage in a work which will not bind them? How can one not get attached to the work? Explaining the secret of work or Karma Yoga, Swami Vivekananda says, work incessantly, but give up all attachment to work. Do not identify yourself with anything. Hold your mind free. All this that you see, the pains and the miseries, are but the necessary conditions of the world. Poverty and wealth and happiness are but momentary. They do not belong to our real nature at all. Our nature is far beyond misery and happiness, beyond every object of the senses and beyond any imagination, and yet we must go on working all the time. Misery comes through attachment, not through work. As soon as we identify ourselves with the work we do, we feel miserable. But if we do not identify ourselves with it, we do not feel misery. If a beautiful picture belonging to another is burnt, a man does not generally become miserable. But when his own picture is burnt, how miserable he feels. Why? Both were beautiful pictures, perhaps copies of the same original. But in one case, very much more misery is felt than in the other. It is because in one case he identifies himself with the picture, not in the other. This I and mine causes the whole misery. With the sense of possessions comes selfishness, and selfishness causes misery. Every act of selfishness or thought of selfishness makes us attached to something, and immediately we are made slaves. Each wave in the chitta that says I and mine immediately puts a chain around us and makes us slaves. And the more we say I and mine, the more slavery grows, the more misery increases.
Oh.